Welcome everyone to kind of one of the first Discord interviews here on Twitch, and I'm gonna be posting more in the future, hopefully on my main channel on YouTube. We got KYRO Montana in the building today, virtually at least with us. What's good, dude?
Yo, what's good, my boy Cole? Nice to finally be on the phone with you, man.
Yeah, I
Been up
mean,
this.
I've been tapped in for like I want to say like a year or two at least. Like the last EP, I think it was called Baby Blue or something like that. And
Mhm.
then there's some good songs on there, and I think that's when I followed you at first. But I think ever since then, I've seen you kind of do this alt pop or just that kind of lane of music mainly, and I've really enjoyed it. And as you continued to, I guess, roll out this project I just reacted to, I was listening to a lot of singles that I really enjoyed, and I want to know, like, before you got into this lane of music that you're in, like, what were you doing before? Did you always make alt pop music, or like kind of like the music that I really enjoyed on this new mixtape
Yeah,
that we're gonna talk about later, or did you have old stuff that was way different?
I definitely had old stuff that was way different. I'd say as Cairo for the most part, 'cause, like yeah, Cairo Montana, Cairo. I started that. I got that moniker around 2020, not around, definitely 2020. Um, I think I changed my name in like March. So at Cairo, I've definitely always dabbled in pop, rock, rap, just anything to be honest, because that's just what you know what I mean. That was my mo. But before that, from about 2018 to then, I was really just making like, to be honest, like Lil Mosey inspired stuff. Uh,
That was
yeah,
like technically the end of the SoundCloud era, so yeah, it was maybe
yeah.
rap, or yeah, maybe you were inspired by that generation a
And
little
like
bit.
Goodbye Good Riddance that just came out. Yeah, dude. I remember there's so many different artists that definitely inspired me during that time. I mean, I can go on for hours or whatever. You know, there's Uzi, there's Cardi, there's Thug, just there's all those dudes. There's Yachty, even Kodak. But then I remember Goodbye and Good Riddance came out the spring of that 2018 year,
Yes,
man.
that Zach, by the way. I'll be reading chat a little bit.
I was like, yo, this is the most different thing I've ever heard, but this is also the most similar thing to something I really feel like I would want to make if I made music. You know what I
There you
mean?
go. And then that's where it clicked a little bit. Did you have
Absolutely.
like any musical talent, or like did your parents have any musical talent or anything like that, or did you have to just figure it out on your own?
My parents, like, I wouldn't say they don't have any musical talent, but like my parents are not musically inclined. Shout out to them. They're very smart people. But as I was a kid, I was banging on stuff. I remember that I was banging on stuff in a pot, and my mom was like okay about it. She was like, "I'll take you," because we kind of lived down. We lived in a really good. It's a crazy area, but we lived in a good area in the sense of like there was a lot of random extracurricular activities in a super good block, like good radius or whatever. Um, so she took me down to do drum lessons, and then my dad got me a drum set, playing them loud ass drums in his house. That shit was so fire, but like funny to be honest. But yeah, so I just been playing drums my whole life.
Yeah, I
But
remember
yeah, I
my
kind of always.
my parents. They like all they did was just play the radio for me. So that's what I grew up with, was whatever was popular.
No, my dad put me on to so much music. It's like there's so much music I don't know what he had no business listening to. Like a 30-something-year-old man with kids, like putting us on to Drake, 2009, 2008, T Pain, Akon, like all this stuff. And I was just like, oh wow. So he like trained my ear, but then also he put me on the Tribe Called Quest, Wu Tang, DMX, like you name it. So I think I just came up with like yeah. And then my mom, she just kept me in the church. So you know,
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay, and early on that was in Philly, right?
yeah. So I grew up basically back and forth between Philly and DC. Just because different households, different like divorced parent stuff, but and different support systems essentially. So I would be in DC. I was in DC I think till I was about 3 or 4. Then I was in Philly for a few more years. Then I was in DC. So it was kind of like
Back and
that.
forth, and yeah.
Yeah. And then high
So
school I was just in DC pretty much.
high school is just Philly. Okay, I mean, you got your Eagles. You just got the Super Bowl. I know you're riding off of that.
Yes
76ers on
sir.
the complete opposite end.
It's okay. We got the WNBA coming in 2030. I'm waiting on.
The W? I don't know if
Yeah.
I've invested yet if your last name's not Clark.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. There's a few things about the W that I love. One, the people are mad entertaining. Like I started following them on TikTok. They're hella funny. But then there's some teams and some rookies from last year and this year that I'm just like, nah. Like shout out to Hina Pow Pow. That's my favorite. Shout out to Hina Pow Pow.
A couple of the new college girls look all right. Some of them get their own
Bob
rebounds a
J might
lot.
be nice.
Crazy stray,
Nah,
crazy
bro.
stray.
Nah. Shout out Angel. I love her. Shout out
I
Caitlin too, though. Shout out all of them girls.
no, she's crazy. No, I just wanted to know when you made that move, how old were you when you first came over to LA then, and you kind of left
Oh,
the East then?
yeah. I was 19. I was at the
So really different
early
for
part of
you.
19. Yeah, like literally. I kind of wanted to do that around 18, essentially. COVID basically gave me the gap year or whatever. So I had to just figure out. But if it weren't for that gap year, I was gonna go to school, but I didn't want to go to school. So it was all these different things that kind of came into play. But yeah, I was 19, moved out here. I was 2021.
I see, I see. So then eventually, would you say since 2021, are looking at yourself back then when you got there to now, would you say you've made a lot of like advancements in your music? Are you proud of like where you've been on in your journey then?
Yeah, for sure. Musically and brand wise, and like honestly, just people I have on my team, I'd say like just people I just different, honestly, just different friends I've met working at different jobs or knowing other artists or like this artist's brother ends up being like my videographer, like one of my best friends, Timba's brother. So it's like just kind of it's been that kind of stuff that's been the best for me, I'd say. And then honestly, I would really say it just allows me for the most focus per se to main like build a brand or build a not a brand but like an identity. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up was I feel like as an artist, like on your Instagram page, like you do a good job of it having like an aesthetic or like you see what you're going for, and you see exactly that the music is matching the visuals. There's effort put into it. And there's a lot of things dropping. You know where you can find the snippets. You know where you find the songs. There's a lot of artists who right away early on they mess up or like they follow me or they don't even follow me and they're still like check out my music. But it's kind of funny. You go to some people's pages and it's like they're hiding behind a hoodie or I can't even find one snippet. I can't find their music.
Right.
It's too mysterious. There's zero posts, whatever. And I feel like it's harder to get into an artist that way. So one thing I noticed early on was right away I had so much content really to go to, and I definitely threw all the songs you've dropped single to single going into this project the last couple years. Honestly, I've seen your visuals increase. Who are you working with mainly like on your music videos, and the visualizers I know just came out as well? I thought they all looked really clean for this new project, Be Easy on Me. I really thought they fit the summer theme well, and everyone had its own visualizer, and like I really love that extra like care you put into it.
Well, first of all, thank you, bro. I really appreciate the words on literally everything you just said. And like I said, so my friend, so when about this, I can't remember if it was the first or second year I moved out here, but it might have been the second or like
Well, I'd say Zach, just listen to the new project we're gonna
I
be
met
talking about.
a friend named Temba, who's another artist from Indiana. He has a song kind of going crazy right now. Everybody shout out, listen to Calling My Phone. But his brother literally moved out here last year, and Temba introduced me to him, and we clicked off like immediately. And since then, almost not many people have filmed another thing for me. Or if not, maybe if not, Jabu knows or is involved with the process. That's his name, Jabu and Gone. But he's involved with the process, or like he's there. You know what I mean? So that guy is yeah. He's helped transform my whole look because he understands exactly what I'm going for and trying to show. And then he also we draw from the same like places influence wise,
Yeah.
And then as well he brought on a really good friend to the equation, my boy Owen, and then someone I used to work with at a job, my boy Luca. So three of them together is literally a three-headed monster. and we got some bangers coming all summer.
That's the team. All summer, the bangers
Yeah,
are coming. That's what we love right
yeah.
there. I always loved the colors, and then you guys are in California, so I'm always jealous of like the palm trees and the pools and just just everything outside and just all the beautiful landscapes and just just even just all the buildings and people and being outside and even the color of the
Right.
sky. It's all different and it's stuff that like I cannot film here. You know what I mean? I live in Nebraska. You know what I mean? It does not look the same at all.
Oh, I
So
was wondering where you were from. I was wondering where you were from, bro, when you were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
I'm from Omaha,
the,
Nebraska.
Omaha. Oh, nice. Okay, nice. I
I went
remember the
I
first
went
time I
to
heard about
I went to
Omaha was
Cali
cool.
like a little less than like 10 years ago. I mean, I just went to like
Oh, wow.
Florida for vacation, but I mean, hopefully I'll go
Mhm.
back sometime for sure.
Now you definitely you'll start making your range, bro. I've been seeing, like I said, I've been seeing shit going crazy. Like it's the same thing with me. I gotta tell myself like the compound interest is always gonna build up,
Hmm.
but you're someone that stays super consistent and you're very interactive with not just the people that you're trying to entertain, but the
Yeah.
other people that you're trying to like this right now. This is dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
So
also for the love of the game too. Like
mhm.
I'm just like a fan of people and I like going to shows and I want to talk to people, I want to meet people and
Right,
yeah, I've really enjoyed doing it. So like I said, I hope this is, first of many for the interviews and stuff and content, we can do together. We
absolutely, bro.
we talked about the visualizers and kind of moving to LA, which I know is pretty expensive. Is that true?
Oh yeah,
Tough?
that's the hardest part about it. That's what probably takes my music take the longest. I'm paying for all the mixes, and the production,
Hmm.
while also trying to live in LA, pay rent, and work jobs. It's like fuck, but
Yep.
it's all
Got to thug it out.
you know.
Yeah. Would you say LA, even with its toughness, would you say has it benefited you yet with its connections or people you've gotten to work with? Because there's times I've checked my Instagram and I'm like, how is this dude all of a sudden, last night at the Kai Cenat and Marshmallow silent rave, and I see some dance clip of him on stream, or recently with Dez, who I forget the actor's real name. You might have it, but
Caleb
he
Worthy, shout
obviously.
out Caleb.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew it
Yeah,
from the show. I just he obviously you met him and you got him to play a song, play your song, and he really enjoyed it.
right.
So has that benefits worked out for you, or those kind of moments and connections worked out for you?
No, literally, absolutely. I was just having a conversation with one of my close friends the other day, just about how like being out here, one, is such a small world. And two, like you're like a few degrees away from anybody you really want to work with. So I just try to keep my list of goals high. I try to aim really high, and I keep a really open mind. And a lot of the times, which is why I say that compound interest, I know it's going to build up eventually because people that I'm thinking about or wanting to work with or something like that, I always kind of run into somebody connected to them or them themselves or something like that.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, stuff like the Kai thing, like I started getting into acting and background stuff out here because it's fairly simple. Because they just need, you know what I mean? They just need humans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just need humans from like anything they're shooting out here. And humans come in literally all shapes and sizes.
And also,
Scripts
I
come in
know
all
that there's gonna be a lot of people, a lot more people over there, like filming stuff as well. That's
yeah.
actually, I like that play. We might talk about that one day. Who do you think is someone that is like realistic to like work with, like in the near future?
I had a pretty cool encounter with Skywater not too long ago. I've always had them on my list of really cool features that I would think.
That would
I
be
think like
interesting. I don't even know what that
you
would
know,
sound like.
well, I feel like I would based off of Night at the Rave or whatever the name of that album was. There was a lot of stuff that was I feel like was kind of up my alley a lot. They do a really good job of streaming. But that's one person. Yeah, I don't know. Soon and Far is like that's the only thing that's stumping me on the question.
That's a good name though. Like even on your new project, like you didn't really invite
Yeah.
anybody else. You had all solo tracks and a lot of the singles you
Mhm.
were dropping. You did have a feature on that "It's Okay" song. Was it King
Oh
Tut or
yeah, that's
Prince Tut
okay.
or something like that?
Yeah.
So I mean, I
He
feel like
used
that
to
was one of
part
the
of like
last
the culture.
times maybe you worked with someone. So with all of these new singles and everything that has dropped now, we finally got "Be Easy on Me," which I reacted to. Realistically,
Thank you for
how
your phone.
long? Yeah, realistically, how long did like this music take to make?
About a year and a half ish process, but I'll say like 2 years just in full from when I dropped my last project to now. But for this music specifically, like about a year and a half. And the thing is, honestly, most of the songs, except for All the Time and Boring, have been written and like conceptually done for like I think the better part of a year. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hmm.
But then from there, it's just so much. It's just revisionism, like revisioning, but then also just like I just gotta wait till I can get the money to pay for the mix or the production to get fully done. You know what I mean? It's just little stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I get it can
But
be a
then
long
also
process too.
thinking about prioritizing picking your singles first. So figuring out which ones definitely got to get done. So just stuff like that. Which also, by the way, I love when you were reacting to the album. I heard you say like you think I picked the definitely the best singles or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
did think
appreciate
so.
it. I
Or yeah,
definitely
or you could
appreciate that.
say, the
That was
catchiest ones or whatever. Yeah, whatever you want to
right.
say. Maybe the ones that have the
Because
most
I definitely,
appeal.
yeah, I feel like I got a little lucky on it. So that was good to hear. I'm like, okay, fire. Like I was just really still working on stuff and like getting things finished.
Yeah.
And I was like my favorite ones, like as I was making essential, and they kept making the rest.
Do you get a lot of insight from the people you work with, or like friends, or like when you play them your music, or when you're
Mhm.
thinking about what to drop? Do you like get their help in terms of like if you need help of like what song to pick maybe?
Yeah, no, friends are huge in this process for me for sure. And like honestly, I think there's probably like a circle of about four producers, like six total people.
During this album, we got 8 songs, and you worked on it for a while. Was there a lot of like ideas or scrapped concepts or outtakes, or like any album material that like did not make it? That's a question from Twisted World.
Yes and no, only because like I kind of like try to work in tandem or whatever with any other future stuff I want to work on already. So for the most part, if I ever really do feel like something that doesn't work somewhere, I always feel like it can work somewhere else.
Can be
But
recycled and reused. I like that.
yeah, but then I guess there's probably a few, probably upwards to maybe I could say maybe 15 tracks over just the whole years. But like that word track is so like loose because it could be like random vocal scratches or like half ideas, maybe half a hook done on something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Maybe there's like maybe 10, 15 of those that yeah, just like are just kind of like lost somewhere, but not actually lost. You know what I mean? But uh, other than that, I think I like to really know what I'm working on and what I want to get finished, and hone in on that. Like I have a lot of different favorite artists, but my favorite artists in terms of how they operate their art, some of like one of is like Tyler the Creator, and I always love hearing how he talks about how
Well,
he
he's
works
very
on albums.
calculated. You know what I mean? The way
Mm-hmm.
he crafts his albums, the way he does tour and rolls out his stuff is very
Exactly.
calculated. And I personally love being a fan of that. And that's why I have this
Mm-hmm.
channel that people are watching us on right now, is because I'm a
Exactly.
huge fan of that stuff. But what I was saying earlier about all those visuals and everything I saw from you, I like you don't see that from artists very early on, and I think that's like a
Thank you, bro.
huge advantage that you have for me. Also, the fact that
Appreciate
songs like Bonnie Bear, however the hell you say it, were like top of the summer last year. Austin and Alley all the time. There's a couple new
Thank you,
ones as
bro.
well. They're all really catchy, so that helps as well because the music's up my alley. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Zach Records asked, how long does it usually take for you to record and like construct a song? Because
It
I
kind of
really like
depends,
you like
but
focusing on like not
mhm,
that many tracks. Because a lot of rappers or whatever artists, they could just do 5 and then it's whatever, but the quality is not as good. Whereas I kind of like
right.
really working on those best of the best, like you were saying. But yeah, how long does it usually take for you?
It kind of depends, but I would say for the most part, once I know I have like an instrumental, like the, you know what I mean. There's a whole process behind that too. But once I actually have the instrumental in front of me and I'm like in Logic, I'm like literally sitting right here, microphone's like right
Hmm.
here. Once I have that, I will just do like a vocal scratch or like a top line. They say it's kind of like freestyle, kind of like flow state or whatever, a stream of consciousness stuff. So just like kind of say whatever first comes to mind. and then like go over that a few different times, and then I'll like just export it and listen to like because there'll be mumbles or melodies or some words and so what depends on how long it takes for me to get the real strike of inspiration when I'm listening back to it. Sometimes like Boney Bear, literally the very next day. I mean, I don't even think I got to the end of that same day without being like, no, I know what this song is. Um, so that's why I say it depends. But sometimes I'll be thinking like, oh, this mumble is like this melody is really good, but I can't think of any words. And for some random reason, 7 months later, I either remember the melody or I just go just listen through a bunch of old demos, and I'm like, oh, I know what the song is now, and I start writing. So it can be either or, you know.
I kind of like when songs are half completed and then an artist picks it up later on.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you said, you can also recycle ideas. And, I think some of the best rappers, like if they have like even a couple bars at the end of their verse that's off, or they had a couple just whack lines that threw off the entire
Right.
idea. Like I really like a lot of people are gonna just let that fly and let it be a thing. But I really like people that will like reuse like their past work to like fill that in, or like literally go back and actually put that effort
Oh yeah,
to
no, I do
go
love
back
that too,
and
especially
do
when
it because it
especially
pays
when you
off.
kind of
It
know
pays off.
especially like if it's like a thing for the fans, you know what I mean? Like a snippet or something people had recognized before. I agree with you super hard on that. Those always pay off fire.
On this new project, I want to
Mm.
know if you helped produce on anything. Did you do like any drums, or did you mainly just do vocals? And as well, like if you had any moments that were like your favorites, I also kind of wanted to know.
I didn't do any like actual production on it. I would say I got my first like technical production credit on the intro track "Boring" because aside from like a few of the guitar lines, I essentially wrote the whole thing, but I don't have it. I just don't have any instruments here. One, two, I'm still learning to play guitar fully. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love guitar, so I'm trying to lock in on that. But my producer, he usually plays everything through, and we usually know exactly what he's gonna play on it. I'll probably tell him the drum pattern, but for boring, I essentially recorded a loop of myself doing what I wanted the guitar to be. I looped that, and then I recorded like the actual like what my vocals that are on the actual track. I recorded that just over myself being the guitar, and then just took a video of like how I wanted everything played essentially.
Hmm.
And I was like, all right, this is the drums, and then this is gonna be this, and then so like the first time I like kind of helped construct the production of one of the songs that me and my boy Caleb had done. My guy Caleb Matheson out of Brooklyn, because he who plays mostly all my instruments and all the songs.
I thought Caleb did a really good job too for a lot of the album.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, no, he did. He did amazing. I'm super blessed to know that guy. I say favorite moments. Boring, of course.
Track one.
Yeah, that's the last song I made actually. Around
Oh, that's interesting. It's like
yeah,
backwards.
yeah, you know. I think the earliest song off the project probably "Mr. Ride." I think that's probably the first thing I made on this.
Mr. Ride
But
was pretty special. I will say, out of the new ones I heard, I was like
uh
pretty shocked by that one. That one also was really good.
nice, nice. That's good. I'll probably say yeah, that little middle part in that song and the end of that song, I kind of hold near and dear. This thing, Austin Alley. I mean, that's not new, but like that's just goat. I mean, that's my favorite show. Like that's my goat. Austin Moon is literally my goat. Like
Did you grow up on a lot of Disney Channel? Do you like Austin Alley, or do you like a lot more
yeah,
like the Good Luck Charlie and like really everything, Dog the
I
Blog
mean,
and Sweet Life on
there's
Deck
no
and
discrimination on my end.
in the
I
Hannah
probably end off
Montana?
at like love Hannah Montana, love Hannah Montana. Because I grew up with two sisters, so I was the middle between two, and so like our rotation when it came to entertain, like back when we were like super young, you know, like 7, 8, 9, whatever. It was like one TV, okay, your turn, my turn, your turn. So you pick a show, you pick a show, you pick a show, and like eventually I was like, yo, I'm getting set up, I'm getting ambushed. Them two picking the same show, and I pick another one, and I'm watching two episodes back to back of random show. So I remember I was like, I better lock in. I better get to loving this stuff. And that was like with Hannah Montana and them. Yeah,
I didn't even
Hannah
watch Hannah
Montana.
Montana with my sister. I still thought that shit was good.
Yeah, it was fire. I mean, I remember the movie came out. It really felt like a whole thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm still a fan to this day. I don't even care. But yeah, I always see you kind of post some like old nostalgia as well from that era,
mhm.
which you could also say
My
matches the
Disney
music.
Channel is literally
So
so fire.
yeah,
It's so goaded.
and it feels good, and like those little images and videos too, and just memories we have of those shows. Like yeah,
Mhm.
they go well with the music, honestly. So it you know
Thank you,
what
bro. Thank you.
it makes perfect sense. But yeah, as a kid, dude, I had so many memories of watching those shows. It's insane because I
And
didn't
they
even
were just good.
I was
They were
not
really
watching
good.
SpongeBob like that. It's good for memes,
Mm.
but all right, this is a hot take. SpongeBob is
Hold
not
on, hold
good.
on,
It's
hold
not good.
on. Well, you know what's funny? At that age, one of those shows that I felt ambushed by was SpongeBob. I hated SpongeBob growing up. I got it banned temporarily in my crib for like the dolphin episode. I was like, Mom, they're cursing. I was a little snitch.
Mm.
Then I got to high school and the memes became a thing. And I really started going back and being like, hold on, let me watch some SpongeBob, bro. It's honestly one of the funniest shows ever. Like the OG SpongeBob is honestly hilarious.
I don't know what it is. Like, there's some funny moments, but I could not sit there and like watch episodes. You know what I mean? I feel like that's
Yeah,
insane.
I feel
I
you.
feel like that's insane. Like maybe a scene or two, and then I'm like, all right,
Mhm.
got the point. You know?
I used to sit dying laughing in back to class with my one homie Patrick, bro. Ironically, my homie
Ironically,
Patrick and
literally, was
we
he
were just
pink and a
watching
star by
SpongeBob
chance?
clips. Nah, my boy Pat, he was a dunker. He was tough. He was a jumper. We would just be back to class fucking laughing at SpongeBob memes and clips on YouTube, compilations.
Yeah, the memes are
But
good
yeah,
for
no,
sure.
Disney definitely raised your boy for sure.
That's so far. I wanted to know after the new project here, Bees Yummy. I wanted to know sound wise. There's no like pressure to
Mm.
like make something insane and whatnot. You just gotta keep doing your thing and staying consistent. But I want to know, is there any like hints or any ideas you have at maybe like where you're going next or what you're gonna kind of start working on? I guess.
Definitely. I'm looking to grow the sound for sure. I'm never one to try to stay stagnant. Um, and I'm always down to explore really what that means and sounds like. But what I definitely can say is I'm looking to like I'm just trying to find out more about space because I feel like that's a really important thing right now. I don't know why. I'm just trying to find out more about space.
Like Elon Musk and shit.
Yeah, kind of, but like I don't need him. You know what I'm saying? Like KYRO Montana. You know?
I see what you mean. You also did just get the name change.
Right.
I got yeah, like added it on. Is there also a meaning to the Montana you added on? I mean it's always been Cairo all those years, but
Mhm. Right.
the full thing now is that a new chapter at all? Is it a big deal?
It's a for a few different reasons. Mainly searchability and like feel like from the time where I thought of and picked the name, which was 2020, and now like so many different. I just seen so many different people with the same name as Cairo, and I'm like, dang. So it's just kind of like it's harder to look me up too.
Yeah. Or there's
Um,
Kygo, which are like
and
way.
that's what people used to say a lot. Yeah, when I first started, right, I used to hear that a lot for sure. I was like, I need, and now I learned he was a DJ. Cairos's actually pretty fire. And then, but then from there, it's also I really have been since living out here, especially. I remember feeling like just going back to what we were just talking about. I remember feeling so funny about the fact that I would be working these double shifts one day, and then the next day, literally trying to be a pop star, like trying to become a pop star. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I'm literally Hannah Montana, bro.
It's good though.
So I just kind of like,
It'll give you
yeah,
good stories to talk about in the music and
mhm,
experiences and all that as well. So
right.
I think I'm really excited for the journey personally. I'm putting my stocks in early. You know, I already did. So,
Nah, yeah, you've been showing love, bro. Shout out to you and shout out to Complex again, man. Like y'all been showing.
yeah, that's what I would have first heard him back when he did an album back in the day. I remember that. Um, but I feel like I barely even remember that because your music quickly just changed. It got a lot better. I mean, there was some songs I remember you previewed that I didn't have to hear too much of it from a snippet, and I was like, yeah, let me find this thing. When's this dropping? You know what I mean? Like this is serious. So like I said, like yeah, doing this content and everything that I do, under ColeFrosty is just like it's just in my free time. Like I don't really make money from this shit. It's also a passion,
Yeah.
something I'm working on for myself. So I
Right.
feel like I can also kind of relate to you. Not that I'm doing music, but I can relate to my other
No, it's
friend
the same shit, bro.
who's
For
like
sure.
like I have another friend who's like a producer. And, we were just talking last week, and like we also
Mhm.
sometimes relate so much because we're like, in this journey is incredibly difficult uphill battle. But we're all
Right.
like, we all know that like this is like what we want to do or just what we love, and everyone's chopping away. And so I guess I wish you luck because I'm
Yeah, bro.
working on
Well, thank
myself.
you, dude. One, I want to say I see you, bro, for sure. Like I said, and two, yeah, it's a fact. Literally, it's so it's kind of crazy. It's easy to get discouraged. But like you said, when you remember, like, oh no, this is what I love to do, it'll pay off. You know what I mean? Like, also, honestly, the coolest part is just stuff like this, you know, getting to connect with different people that share similar passions and interests. Because it all being coming back to music, that's just like, to me, that's everything. So like, regardless what my music or not music is, probably like the thing that grounded me the most in this existence, and just helped me feel the most clean. So many different things, and I know that's the same case for a lot of different people. So
Hmm.
it's always cool to just see that thing itself foster so many different types of communities or like relationships. You know,
Around the world too. Everywhere, everybody, yeah.
absolutely.
Which is insane to think about. Yeah, that was a good message right there. Is there anything else you want to say to kind of end it off? We definitely have a good 20 to 30 minute episode. I'll be posting for everybody. But yeah, do you have any other final thoughts you want to send us off with? And then definitely, please shout out all your stuff, and we'll of course have your links in the description.
Yo, everybody that right now it seems crazy. There's a lot of different stuff going on in probably your personal life, other people's lives, and in the greater world as a whole. But continue to lead with love. Continue to like try, and it's so like do whatever cliche and simple, but literally continue to, because it's so easy to be like, man, I'm sick of just trying, I'm sick of showing up. But continue to show up. But then beyond that, go a step above and really continue to be very joyful, very silly, you know what I mean? Very passionate about the things you love and passionate to the people that you love. And show them that.
Facts.
Other than that, everybody just, you know what I mean? Just stay safe. Go stream, be easy on me. Like I said, I got a lot of music videos coming soon. The new era will come eventually, but who knows? We don't even know. Like,
Definitely give
right
my
now,
boy a
we're
follow on the Instagram. New
KYRO,
project
World
out
of
now.
KYRO.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
At World
sir.
of KYRO.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure talking to you, my boy.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I'm going to go kick off on some college football